In the heart of a beautiful coastal city, surrounded by wide roads, fountains, and marble mansions, lived a woman named Madam Rowena Darrell. She was one of the richest and most elegant women in the city. People said her jewelry could buy entire buildings. Her dresses were made in Paris. She owned 2 yachts, 6 servants, and a mansion with over 20 rooms, each filled with rare art, tall mirrors, and golden lamps. But despite all her riches, Madame Rowena lived alone. She never married. She had no close friends. She went to parties, smiled politely, donated to charities. But when the music stopped, she returned to her lonely mansion like a shadow slipping through moonlight. There was only one person she allowed close, her maid, Lita, a quiet young woman who had served her for years. Lita lived in a small room on the top floor and never asked questions. But she had one, a big one. What happened to the baby? 13 years ago, Rowena was 29 when she disappeared from the public eye for 7 months. At first, people whispered that she had fallen ill. Then the rumors changed. Someone claimed they saw her buying baby clothes. Another swore they saw her with rounded belly, hiding behind a shawl. One day, she returned, thinner than ever, dressed in black, her eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses. There was no baby. No one asked, no one dared. But Lita remembered. She had been new back then. One night, she had walked into Madame Rowena's room and found her crying, holding a tiny blue blanket. Lita never spoke of it, but from that night forward, she always wondered. Had Madame Rowena lost the baby? Or had something worse happened? One rainy afternoon, Madame Rowena called Lita into her study. The fire was burning low, and she looked pale. "I'm going away for a few days," she said. "There are instructions for the house. No one is allowed into the basement, not even you." Lita nodded, but inside, her curiosity burned. The basement? It was always locked. Madame Rowena kept the only key. That night, Lita couldn't sleep. The house felt different, empty, like it was holding its breath. At midnight, she took a candle and walked quietly through the halls. She paused outside the basement door. Something cold brushed her cheek. Maybe a draft. Maybe something else. The door was unlocked. She didn't understand why, but something pulled her to open it. The stairs creaked. The air smelled like dust and old books. The candle flickered. And then she saw it. A nursery hidden underground. Painted walls, soft blue with white clouds. A crib, a rocking horse, toys on the shelves, a mobile hanging from the ceiling. Everything perfectly clean, untouched. But no baby. On the rocking chair was a worn teddy bear with one button eye missing. Beside it, a journal. Lita picked it up. The first page read, "To my son, you will never know me, but I will never forget you." Her hands shook as she turned the pages. The truth unfolds. Madame Rowena had fallen in love at 28. A secret affair with a man who promised her the whole world, then disappeared when she told him she was pregnant. She couldn't bear the shame. A single rich woman with a baby? Society would crush her. Her family would disown her. So she hid. She gave birth alone in a private clinic outside the city. But she didn't give the baby away. No, she gave him a better life. She paid a trusted midwife to place her baby with a kind couple, ordinary people who wanted children but could never have them. She made sure they had enough money, education, and protection for a lifetime. She even bought the house they live in, using fake names so they would never know the truth. Every birthday, she sent gifts through the midwife. Every year, she visited the house in secret, hiding behind her car's tinted glass, just to see her son playing in the yard. She kept the basement nursery to feel close to him. She decorated it herself. She never let anyone in. Lita closed the journal, tears in her eyes. She now understood the deep sadness behind Rowena's eyes, the loneliness in her voice, the locked door. It wasn't that she had no child. It was that she had loved him too much to keep him. 2 days later, Rowena returned. She looked tired but peaceful. Lita didn't ask anything, but Madam Rowena said quietly, "Did you go into the basement?" Lita looked down. "Yes, I'm sorry." Rowena nodded slowly. "It's time someone knew. He turned 13 last week. I saw him from the car. He laughed at something his mother said. He looks just like his father, but he's happy. That's all I ever wanted." Lita whispered, "Do you think you'll ever tell him?" Rowena stared at the fire. "Maybe one day, but not yet. I would rather him grow up with love than with questions." Few years later, a young man in a school uniform rang the bell of a grand mansion. Madam Rowena opened the door. She looked at his face, so familiar. It hurt. He held a letter in his hand. "I found this in my mother's drawer," he said. "It's from a woman named Rowena Darrell. Are you her?" Rowena nodded, tears already falling. He looked nervous, curious. "Why did you help us all these years? Who are you to me?" She smiled softly and said, "I'm someone who loved you before you took your first breath." And for the first time in 19 years, the house no longer felt empty. You see, not all mothers raise their children, but sometimes the deepest kind of love is letting go, not because you don't care, but because you care more than anyone will ever know. Hope you got value from the story. Hit the subscription button to stay updated.